Hey guys, I am IzDaisho and I am here bringing you another draft. Same thing as usual. We pick up some packs, take some cards out, pass the rest, and hopefully it'll work out. But anyway, from this draft I have a couple of gameplays to show you guys, so that's pretty cool. I actually have the first match and then the third match, so hopefully it'll be pretty good for you guys. But anyway, this is my opening pack, and it's a pretty decent pack. It's got a couple of first pickable cards. It's got the Thalia and Wake Dancer and Markov Warlord. All three of them are definitely first pickables. Markov Warlord being the 4/4 haste that when it enters the battlefield you can not tap, but you can make two target creatures not be able to block. So that's a pretty awesome thing. The Wake Dancer is a 3 cost. With Morbid, so that if it enters the battlefield and a creature had died this turn, then you get a 2/2 zombie, and it's a 2/2 itself. And then there's the card that I picked, which is Thalia, Guardian of Thraben, which is a 2/1 first strike, and non-creature spells cost 1 more to cast. So not really the best draft card, but it is worth $5 in real life. So while the others were arguably better, Wake Dancer and Markov Warlord, I wanted Thalia because A, I can trade it, and B, it'll probably help me out. A 2/1 first strike for 2 is still pretty good. And then I kind of build around it. So my next pick is the Loyal Cathar, and another reason why I was so inclined to go with Thalia the last pick and Loyal Cathar this pick was because at the beginning, once the packs were opened, I noticed that a lot of Loyal Cathars were open. In fact, 3 of them were, and they all had the possibility of getting to me, so that was really exciting. Anyway, this pack is just absolutely loaded. As you'll see, it's got a Drog Skull Captain, a Burning Oil, Fires of Undeath, and a Kessig Recluse, and 2 cards have already been taken out of it. But I'm already in white, so I figure Burning Oil, here we go, going red-white. I know, it's not very different than usual, but it's a good color combination. Well, it's not really a good color combination. People say it's terrible, but I like it, and I feel like it works. Loyal Cathar is definitely the choice here. Loyal Cathar is just amazing. If you don't know what it does, it's a 2/2 vigilance, and when it dies, at the end of the turn, you can return it back and on its flip side, and the flip side is a 2/1 that can't block. So for 2 mana, you're getting so much value. It's really, really cool. It's a great card. Anyway, I think I go for the Fling here. Fling is a pretty decent card, and it worked out really well in the deck, especially if you got a couple Loyal Cathars, and you'll see I'll pick up some other cards later on that'll help me out with the Fling, and it definitely helped me out in the games, as you guys will see. But here, what do I take here? The person to my right had also decided to go into white from, I think, his first pick. I think his first pick might have been a Drog Skull Captain, and he wanted to go into blue-white flyers. So he saw that I had picked the Loyal Cathar, and he was not happy about that because he knew that I would be going white also, and I wasn't going to pass him anything in the second pack that was white. So he was a little bit upset about that, but I was also a little bit upset. But he kept passing me good white cards, so I couldn't really say, all right, well, I'm not going to get any good white cards, so I can't stop going. But anyway, if you'll notice, most of the cards that I've picked so far are 2-drop creatures. I picked a couple of Loyal Cathars. Here we go, Burning Oil, Thalia, and I'm about to go for, I think, a Thraben Heretic. I love this card so much. It's so good. It's a 2-cost 2/2. Exile target creature card from a graveyard. Anything that has Undying is just completely massacred, and anything, like, all those kind of cards. And then I get rewarded for not taking the Russet Wolves, which is the other thing that I would have taken, because I get another Russet Wolves right then. So I was pretty happy about that situation. But anyway, it's kind of in the part of the pack where there's nothing that's going to be really useful. But I do get a Break of Day, which is pretty cool. Definitely somewhat useful card in the deck that I'm building, because as you can see, it's going to be kind of aggro, red-white aggro. And here I think I just go for a Scorch the Fields, just because there's not much else in the pack. And, you know, it could be a decent sideboard card against the human deck, or against the deck with 1 land that basically just murders you. But, you know, it's not such a big deal. Here I could either go for the Rave Revelations or just hate the chant of Scurf saying, in case the person to my left is running blue or something like that. And now with 3 cards left in the pack, I get another Fling. There are 2 cards that were playable. I could have either taken the Fling or the Sanctuary Cat. Sanctuary Cat's not great. It's only a 1-power creature, but it is a 1/2 for 1, so you get some value out of it. Then I go for a Heavy Matic second to last, and last pick, Haunted Fengraf, which in general it's a pretty decent card, or in some decks it's pretty decent. It worked out really well in the last deck that I played, but in this one it really wasn't the greatest card. So I took it, but I don't think I ran it. So anyway, this pack is It's like it's not a great pack to open, especially for the archetype that I'm in already. I want to be red white and I want to be aggro. So the Doom Traveler's not bad, definitely pretty decent, especially since he has some good synergy with Fling. Because if you fling him at a creature, then he still wins. But the person next to me who's going for blue-white flyers, I was pretty sure he was because there was a couple of Drogskol captains. I mean, or I don't know. I think it was because he took a Loyal Cathar and he wasn't really taking cards from me that I figured he was probably blue-white flyers. But he had a Silent Departure and a Feeling of Dread in this pack, so I just put all the awesome cards from him and Back from the Brink too. There was also a Delver of Secrets, which he probably would have run, but it definitely wasn't nearly as good as the others. But anyway, all those cards were in that pack, and I don't think he... I don't remember what he took. I think he may have taken the Feeling of Dread, but whatever. Next pack is again, it's not the greatest pack for me. There's a Reckless Waif, I believe that is, in here, and it's probably what I'm going to go for. Reckless Waif is actually pretty decent, especially in an aggro deck. If you're on the play, then chances are he's going to flip to the Merciless Predator turn 2. And then he's swinging in for 3 damage turn 2, which is just outstanding for a draft or whatever. So I really, really, really like that about the Merciless Predator, but or the Reckless Waif, I guess, is the other side. But it's definitely a good card. But if it just stays as a 1-cost 1/1, and they are able to play spells, then it's gonna hurt you because you're not gonna really want to spend an entire turn to flip it. So it's just not great. Another Feeling of Dread's in this pack, and a Claustrophobia. So my neighbor is very, very much happy. He was just like so excited about these packs because I mean he just kept getting past outstandingly amazing cards, and there's a few decent cards in here for me. I immediately go for the Doom Traveler, although I don't know if that was the right choice. I think I chose it because I already had a bunch of 2-drops and I didn't have any 1-drops really, other than the other one Doom Traveler that I got. So I went for that over the Ashmouth Hound, even though Ashmouth Hound is a really, really good creature. He's a 2/1, and whenever he becomes blocked or blocks a creature, he deals 1 damage to that creature. So basically nothing with 1 toughness can really block it. Or if it doesn't, they'll just die. And then I go for Selfless Cathar, which is really cool in this deck. It's kind of like a 1/1 guy who also has a Break of Day on him, so that's definitely not a bad situation. And this pack is like absolutely stacked for me, and it still has a freaking Feeling of Dread on it, but Scourge-Dagg Cultist is gonna have to be the obvious choice. I already have a bunch of weak creatures, including 2 Doom Travelers, who just benefit so much with Scourge-Dagg Cultist. They have so much synergy right there, and I already have Flings and stuff. But that was definitely the way to go. And here, I think the cards that I was saying of taking are Curse of the Nightly Hunt, which not really that great. And then there's a Silver Chase Fox and an Unruly Mob, which are both pretty decent. Silver Chase Fox not only gives you answers, but he still is a value creature in a 2/2 for 2. And Unruly Mob is pretty decent in an aggro deck. I think I end up going with the Silver Chase Fox. Really not sure actually, but Unruly Mob is pretty cool if you have your Scourge-Dagg Cultist out and you got a Doom Traveler or something, and you swing in and they have to block with at least one extra power, and then even if they do that, then you might have the Fling in your hand. So anyway, I do go with the Unruly Mob here, and I'm pretty happy I took it because I don't know if I'll end up seeing another one, and it's a really, really good card and it really helped me out. But this Morcut Banshee is just like showing up everywhere. This is the second pack, but you'll see later what it does. But anyway, it's a 5-cost 4/4 black card, 3 and 2 black to play, and Morbid for when it enters the battlefield does -3/-3 until end of turn to a target creature. So it's pretty cool. But anyway, another Village Bellringer and Feral Ridgewolf are in this pack. They're both 3-drops, which is pretty cool because I don't really have many 3-drops yet. I have mostly 2-drops, and I definitely want to choose one of these two, even though I don't see anything else in this pack that I would actually consider taking. I go with the Village Bellringer. I don't know if the Feral Ridgewolf might have been the better choice, but I do go with it anyway. So yeah, there's a couple of decent cards left in this pack. Not really much actually, but I do think I don't even know what I end up picking here. I don't even know what that card is. Purify the Grave. Yeah, there you go. Purify the Grave is actually a pretty good card. You can just get rid of cards that have flashback, and it just only hurts your opponent. But definitely not in the main board. You don't ever put that card in the main board. And this was the original pack that I opened up, I believe, and there's not much left for me in it. So I think I just end up taking the Delver's Secrets just because there really isn't anything that I'm going to be running. and my neighbor is a little bit upset because he kind of wanted that to table, which isn't unreasonable. Delver isn't such a great card in draft, so again, I didn't really get anything in this pack. I definitely was talking about something a moment ago, but I forgot what it is. Oh yeah, I was talking about Purify the Grave and how it's a pretty good sideboard card, but I completely forgot about it and I forgot to sideboard it, and it does hurt me a little bit considering that one of my first opponent was my neighbor, who picked up all the Feeling of Dreads that you guys saw. Anyway, I pick up a Witchbane Orb also. You have Hexproof, which is kind of cute, but it's not really good at all. Tormented Pariah, 5th to last, not bad, considering I don't have money 4-drops. I think I just have the Russet Wolves at this point, so that's not terrible for me. And then here I just hate a Stitcher's Apprentice. I don't think my neighbor was going to take it anyway, but I didn't need any of the other cards in there. Thraben Pure Bloods, if in case I wanted to run a 5-drop, I would run Thraben Pure Bloods, even though it's not very good. Not even in the slightest. And then I go for the Curse of the Nightly Hunt, which isn't terrible because I almost considered playing it, but it's not runnable, I don't think, so whatever, it wasn't a big deal. But here I open this pack and I don't really have much of a decision to make. It's pretty obvious that I'm going to go for the Bonds of Faith from the beginning. There's nothing even remotely good for my colors, and it's Bonds of Faith, one of the best cards in the set for my archetype, so I was very, very happy. And then this pack was really stupid on my part. I pass up the Ashmouth Hound and I go for a Nightbird's Clutches, which I don't even think I end up running, but pretty sure that's what happens. Ashmouth Hound is an amazing 2-drop as opposed to decent 2-drop creatures that I have. Ashmouth Hound is probably one of the better ones other than the Loyal Cathars, but I end up going for the Nightbird's Clutches, second pick, even though I don't think I run it. I definitely overpicked it. And then I see a Feeling of Dread in this pack and I'm like, oh my god, what did my neighbor just pick and pass me this? How does he have such a good card? But Feeling of Dread's really only good in white blue, so that's why I'm just passing it up all these times. And then there's another Nightbird's Clutches in here, but I go for the Harvest Spire. Running one Harvest Spire even in a deck without Self-Mill, I think it's okay. I'd rather usually run, wow, there's still a Mulgraf Monstrosity and a Thraben Sentry. Is that a Thraben Sentry? And an Elder Cathar? No, that can't be a Thraben Sentry. Maybe it's a Smite the Monstrous. I would have looked at it more if it was a Thraben Sentry, I think. But I do remember going. I'm trying to decide if I want the Blazing Torch for some removal or if I want to take the Elder Cathar. And the Elder Cathar is pretty cool because if you sacrifice it, then with Fling or with my Skursdag Cultist, which is already 3 different outlets where I can sacrifice it, then it makes my other guys bigger. So that's pretty cool. Maybe it's a Smite the Monstrous. Must be a Smite the Monstrous. It's kind of like a similar art, I believe. Anyway, I find the Silver Chase Fox that I was talking about earlier. So Mona the Unhallowed in this pack. I'd be ridiculously happy if I was playing black. I think my neighbor to my left was playing black, so he must have been happy about this pack, seeing a late Mona the Unhallowed. Not that late, but it was a weird draft. Unruly Mob. What do I end up going? Oh my god. It's too bad I didn't go for the other Unruly Mob here. I ended up taking the Night Revelers because I figure I really need 5-drops, and he's a 4/4, sometimes has haste, so that's pretty cool, but he is a 5-drop, so I think I end up running him. I may end up siding him out, but if I had taken the Unruly Mob, I think it would have been a lot happier. Unruly Mob was really, really clutch for my deck. And do I seriously take another? Oh no, I think I take the Feral Ridgewolf here. Here I figure, alright, Feral Ridgewolf is a 3-drop, but he's basically like a 5-drop, and he's got trample, so that's pretty cool. But Ashmouth Hound, like the 15,000th Ashmouth Hound that I passed up, I didn't end up getting any of them. So that kind of sucks. If I had taken a couple of them, maybe my deck would have been a little better. But I mean, again, there's so many 2-drops, which isn't necessarily a good thing to have. All of the 2-drop creatures in general, you want like a curve, a mana curve, as opposed to just like a mana spike. But anyway, this is a pretty decent pack, to be honest. For anyone running red or green, that was definitely a pretty good pack. But anyway, here I go for the Sharpened Pitchfork, and it's basically, well, I think I actually looked through my deck. No, maybe I had just looked through my deck. There's still a Fester Hydeboar in this pack. That's awesome. But I go for the Sharpened Pitchfork. It gives first strike to whatever it's equipped, and if it's a human, it gets +1/+1. And you guys will see how awesome that is for me in these games. But anyway, there's a Morkid Banshee in this pack still, and there's like 5 guards left. And anyone running zombies would be thrilled by this pack because there's that Banshee, and then there's also the Ghoul's Caller's Chant is still in there. So I go for the Banshee, and then look at the next pack, another Banshee. And that's crazy because I'm pretty sure it's an uncommon. And the fact that that there was 2 uncommons back to back. See what I did there? Is just so unlikely. In fact, it's not even likely that you open 2 of them in any pack. But anyway, I got a late Heartless Summoning, and then the rest of the draft is pretty much useless. I don't even know what cards they were. It doesn't matter. I didn't run them. But anyway, I got a really late Heartless Summoning, and I was happy about that. It was like $2, $2.50 card. It was the second most expensive card that I got in the entire draft, and I got a 4th to last or whatever. Take a Grave Bramble, and then Vampire Interloper, and just cards that I can't run anyway because they're not my colors at all. But anyway, my deck ended up pretty decent, I think. Got a lot of aggro creatures and a little bit of synergy. Almost all my creatures were humans. It's too bad I didn't see a Butcher's Cleaver or Silver Inlaid Dagger. That would have helped, certainly. And then there's some other Runic Repetition, I think. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that one. Have a nice day. Bye.